Hi class, welcome back, and today we will be talking about Chapter 9, the Salesforce recruitment and the selection process. Um, in the recruitment and hiring process, managers go to a number of sources to find potential recruits. There are internal sources, which consist of people already employed in other departments within the firm. And then there are external sources, which include people in other firms, educational institutes, advertisements, and employment agencies. But for the sake of this lesson, we're going to solely focus on the external resources. And there are five major forms of external sources. Um, one, referral of people from other firms. Two, advertisements. Three, employment agencies. Four, educational institutes. And then five, the internet. So the first one, referral of other people from firms, is when company personnel provides management with leads to potential recruits from outside of the firm. So current salespeople are in a great position to provide upper management with leads to finding potential customers. They know the requirements of the job because they are a salesperson, and because of the nature of the job, they have numerous contacts with numerous salespeople, and they know who would be a good fit for the job. But salespeople are not the only source of referrals for a company. Customers can also be a great source um, for finding recruits. Sometimes customers' employees have specific knowledge that makes them attractive as salespeople. The book uses the example of department store employees can make good salespeople for wholesalers and manufacturers that supply the store because they are familiar with the product and the procedures of the store buyers. Um, Customers may also provide leads to other potential recruits who work for other firms, which actually would be our competitors. And this outlet for external resources can be useful because it allows you to target experienced salespeople with little to no cost. It's just word of mouth. You have your salespeople doing the recruiting for you, or your customers are telling you, "Hey, I know this salesperson that would be a good fit for your firm." They also have the ability to bring along a couple of their current customers when they switch companies. So if a salesperson you hire from another company uh, comes to your company, they have the ability to bring their business to you. But that rarely happens, as they are more loyal to the company rather than the salesperson. But it can also be negative because it is difficult to get salespeople who worked for other firms to unlearn old practices and to conform to our new company's management practices and policies. A lot of people simply believe it is also unethical to go after competitors' salespeople. And I mean, if you look at it, they spend a lot of time and they invest a lot of money in developing their new hires. And if you go and steal that I mean, that is kind of low and unethical. So some people simply don't do it just because of that. Um, you also have to worry about your new recruits from competitors sharing information, inside information with other firms. So you have to be aware of that. Um, but using the referral method has many positives and many negatives that need to be taken into account when using this method to recruit. Um, the next way to look for external recruits is to advertise. Um, this is simply when a company puts an ad for the job, uh, either online or industry trade. Um, I mean, it's actually a really good way to attract numerous candidates to choose from, but an abundance of potential recruits can also be negative because the company has to pay money to sift through all of those applicants, and that can get costly depending on how many applicants you have. But to help reduce this problem, a company can use what's called open ads, which disclose the firm's name, product to be sold, their compensation, and specific job duties. This will, in turn, usually generate a pool of higher quality candidates and lower selection costs because you'll have less people applying because they know that they may not be qualified, and then also decrease your turnover rates. So that advertising is a great way to look to find potential recruits. Another good source is employment agencies. These are agencies you pay to locate and screen job applicants to fill certain positions that you have. Um, the reasons for using employment agencies because it greatly reduces the amount of time and effort managers have to spend on the recruiting process. They can just go out, pay someone to find what they are looking for, and then they bring them into their company just like that. It's pretty simple. But you have to be careful when selecting an agency because you need to select one with a good reputation, one that is fond and adamant on establishing long term relationships. Um, and then you have to be sure to provide them with a detailed description of your job qualifications. Um, and then, if you do that, employment agencies can be very helpful. But if you do not do this, you may encounter an agency that is only concerned with earning their fees, and they'll send you the first applicant that looks somewhat qualified, and you may end up getting someone that just doesn't work with your firm. Um, but recently, agencies have kind of moved to the online scene, which has kind of changed the way employment agencies have they've made it more efficient for companies to use them because everything's moving online nowadays, and it's just easier that way. Um, Probably, in my opinion, one of the big external sources for firms is educational institutions. Colleges and universities are becoming more and more common places to recruit because there has been a recent push for sales management programs across the nation and in numerous universities. Um, they are particularly effective when looking for sales jobs because when students view a sales job as the first step to a career in management, they are more they're going to jump on it. They're excited. They're ready to go because promotion is a big job satisfactory thing. College graduates are also proven to be more socially poised than people of the same age without a college degree. Um, and their good grades also provide evidence that the person can think logically, budget time effectively, and communicate reasonably well. And these are all good qualities to look for in a salesperson, so colleges are a good place to go. The downfall to looking um, at new college hires is they seldom have any selling experience and likely require um, extensive orientation and training, which can cost money and time for your firm. Um, they also have a reputation for job hopping unless the jobs are challenging and promotions are rapid. But I believe college hires can provide numerous benefits to your team if you're willing to spend the time and money to develop them. The final avenue for finding external resources is the internet, and this one is big. It has grown over the years, and it is used to a firm's advantage. Companies are increasingly using the internet to receive applications. This is a good way to find younger candidates because they're more familiar with technology and they are comfortable with submitting applications online. In addition, by targeting the internet applications to specific job postings, the company can direct the information to the right people very efficiently. It is also a fairly cheap way uh, to find recruits because um, the internet, their social media is big right now. Young people are all over social media creating their networks, and if you just posted a job on social media, you might get numerous responses within minutes. It's a very good avenue. But what makes the internet challenging is the fact that there's a need to meet and interview a person so you understand their personality and if they are a good fit for the job. But this avenue is growing rapidly and is a good source for finding external resources. So, these are all your external resources. I have a couple questions. Out of the 5 resources, referral, advertisements, employment agencies, educational institutes, and the internet, which one or combination of them do you think is the most effective for people targeting potential recruits? Um, and then, where do you think the future of recruiting is headed for sales firms and other companies? Where do you see um, the recruiting heading? Is it gonna the internet? Is it gonna take over? Is there gonna be no more interview process? You're just gonna submit your application online. Are they gonna completely wipe out employment agencies, newspaper ads, stuff like that? Where do you see it headed? Um, so, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time, and see you all later.